Depending on the character's roles, some liberties to keep the plot moving are unrealistic. What I'm focused on is learned behavior, something you see over time. That is why I like series, because it starts to develop a character into a person and it constrains the writer into how the character can react. If you violate the spirit of the character, then you soon will find interest in the books will disappear. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. What leads to the closet? Until puberty, you might feel odd. Your interest may not fall in line with others of your gender or peer group. Until puberty, however, you cannot really know what your sexual attractions are. Yet, humanity both wants to be accepted and needs to feel better by excluding others, or at least demand conformity. Because if you choose a different path and are happy, it might challenge their beliefs. Before puberty, we do have both eyes and ears, and while those around us might say all the right things, their actions, not only toward the child, but toward others, stick. Humanity often learns more by example. If you judge others based on nothing more than outward appearances, a child will file that away. We often refer to unconditional love, that we will love a child no matter how disappointed or mad we are over what they do. Then puberty hits and a child starts being less docile. They will ask questions. Some parents understand the child is not saying they will not do it. They just want to understand why. Adults grow accustomed to the way things are. Those with power, not just parents, tend to be slow to grasp change that costs them what they already have. Eventually, that child will be an adult. If you want them strong and independent, then you need to adapt to the new reality. Not cave, have standards by all means, but you should be ready to explain why. But for a child that hits puberty and has feelings that do not conform with others around them, they struggle to understand. Out of fear, they will not ask, but assume. They will have the memories of things family and friends have said and did toward others. Not only could they fear violence, but worse, what was once thought to be unconditional may now feel in jeopardy. They might start trying to guard against any outward signs of odd behavior, make them focus so much on what they can't do that they have little time to focus on fun, socializing with others. No matter how hard you try, your true self will slip out, and they might become self-hating for their lapse. Sad thing is, these are assumptions, having never taken the chance to see if those closest could still love them. Sometimes those fears are realized. A parent is unable to rise to the level of their pledge of unconditional love. Other times, a parent is timid, uncomfortable, yet trying to understand. The trick for the child is understanding that while you were in the closet, you had lots of time to get comfortable with who you are. However, you denied those that loved you a chance to fall in love with the real you. They might be open and yet mourns for the child they thought you were. That isn't a rejection of you, but they need time. Unconditional love goes both ways. Often the rigors of the closet makes you self-absorbed, not self-aware. The best you can do is show by your behavior that you are happy. As I said, humanity tends to learn best by example. If your actions lead to sorrow, it isn't because you're LGBTQ, but because your choices were bad and have repercussions. While the thoughts are inspired by the book, it does not imply the writer intended to inspire the thoughts I have. The attempt is to start a discussion and get people to think about human behavior from the perspective of the closet. How this might lead to problems that make friends or partners or even business relationships difficult. I can understand why some would dismiss this effort. I find reminders in how the characters behave with memories of my own experiences and then explore that aspect. It's meant to start people to think. It is not meant to imply I am right. If you do not share the ideals with others, then how will you know if you're right? When talking, the focus should be on challenging and exposing your ideals, not in changing other opinions. That would only lead to frustration, since the only person you can change is yourself.